Hello. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Janai, and I just got a really great tarot deck today, and I just wanted to share it. This is a relatively new channel, and I'm just really getting into divination, and I really have started exploring hoodoo, and it's very, very fascinating. I kind of wish that I had known more about it going through my life, but this is a really great tarot deck for. It's a good way to combine your interest in hoodoo and tarot if that's something that you're interested in. And so I cracked it open. I was really excited, but then I thought, maybe I can do a deck review or a deck shout out in this video. It never occurs to me to wait until I'm on camera to unbox something, but it's already been unboxed technically, and I would like to go through it, maybe even do a quick little reading. It's my very first time exploring the deck. It comes with a wonderful book, very detailed explanation of not only the cards and the different suits and the meanings and how they correlate to standard tarot, but also a good introduction to hoodoo, to some of the history, its origins, prominent figures in hoodoo history, I dare say. I'm by no means an expert on hoodoo. I'm still learning, and very, very fascinating. It's very, very fascinating, the history. And this deck, if you're into tarot, it's also a good way to learn more about hoodoo if you're uninitiated in the tradition. So I am going to, we have the book out, but the cards, I actually haven't taken the cards out of the wrapping. So give me just a moment. It tends to, I'm not always the best at opening things, but here are the cards in the deck. This side are the Major Arcana, and reading the book, I'm very fascinated by the artwork by Katelan V. Foisy. Oh, by the way, the book is by Tayannah Lee McQuillar. I've seen other works of hers on Amazon and whatnot, and she is an expert in hoodoo. And I look forward to actually reading more of her books. This is an excellent guidebook, 10 out of 10 as far as tarot deck guidebooks go. So this was very informative. You could read this alone. And if you're interested in hoodoo, I think this is a good introduction. There's so much more to learn, of course, but I think this is a good way to build on your interest in hoodoo, and to a good invitation to learn more and to read more. These are the Major Arcana cards. I'll open them up in just a moment. And these are the suit cards, the different suits. So I'll be back in just a moment with these fully opened, and we will jump right into this deck. I'm really, really excited, and I hope you are too. Alrighty, so I've shuffled these so they're not in order anymore, but these are the Minor Arcana cards. I'd like you to maybe I'll show out a few of these. Illustrations are absolutely beautiful. Yeah, let me fan these out a little bit more. Part of the reason why I get these decks, of course, is out of curiosity of what these decks will look like. But this is gorgeous. This really didn't disappoint. I know how I'm fanning it doesn't quite do it justice, but yeah, it would be worth it if you are a tarot enthusiast, if you are a hoodoo enthusiast, or if you're curious about either, or if you just want a beautiful deck. This is a good one to explore. These were the Minor Arcana. And let me show you some of the Major Arcana. Miss Ida, John Horse, the Emperor. Oh, and this deck also includes the court cards. Daughter of Knives is a Knives card, also known as corresponding with the Swords cards. And I guess one thing to also bear in mind about the Court cards, you know, I kind of wish I'd shown these before I shuffled them all up. But in this particular deck, instead of the Page, the Knight, the King, and the Queen, we have the Mother, Father, Daughter, and Son. Let's see. I think we have our Baskets family. I can go ahead and show that. Yeah, I get really excited about these cards. It doesn't occur to me to act like a YouTuber, to act like somebody who is sharing these cards for the first time. Oh, it's a card that I really am intrigued by. This is the Ancestors card, also known as the Death card. Corresponds with the Death card, which I think is very beautiful, showing that death, the Death card is very tempting for people to take the Death card as literal death. But I think this particular card, the Ancestor card in this deck, does a really good job of showing how the Death card represents the end of a cycle and the beginning of a cycle. So we have, on one half, an infant, a baby, and on the other half, the skeleton. So it shows the birth, the death, and I guess rebirth. It shows the cycle all in one. So I think that's really, really beautiful. Okay, we have the Baskets. We're missing the Sun, but we have the Father of Baskets, the Mother of Baskets, the Daughter of Baskets. I think the Father corresponds with the King as far as Court cards, the Mother, the Queen. The Daughter, I think, is the Page, and the Son is the Knight. I think I want to take a look again. But yeah, I think at this point I'm just kind of freestyling through these cards here, just showing them as they come up. Miss Robinson, she represents the devil. The guidebook gives a really interesting story of her background as to why she's the devil. I don't know if I'll get into, I don't think I'll get into that here because I think this video is already getting a little bit too long. But I might do a follow-up on this video, maybe like a real deep dive on this card deck because it's absolutely beautiful. Father Sims represents temperance. And you can see, if you look at this particular card, it does bear similarities, at least, to the Rider-Waite deck. The figure in the robe and the mixing of the water from vessel to vessel. And this card is very intriguing. This is the Big House, which corresponds to the Tower card. Big House is quite literally the big house, plantation, massive plantation house that's being viewed through rose-colored lenses, which of course obscures the absolute terror and horror that is taking place in this house. So this is a very, very dramatic card, very striking, beautifully done. You know what? I feel like I'm actually going to end up going through all of these major arcana. The grandchild corresponds with the Star card, the star representing hope, optimism for the future. And what represents hope, optimism for the future more than a grandchild? We have the child's hand cupping a star-shaped flower with the grandparents' hands around them. Beautiful card. Like these two cards, as these cards are toward the end of the deck. Let's see, do I have them in order? We have the Moon, the Sun, and Judgment. We have dim bones. Judgment being thrown on the table. And the querent, shocked by what she's seeing, the bones being thrown. There's Judgment card here. And we have Pa, also known as the Moon card. What's very striking about this card, of course, is that in this deck, the Moon's energy is interpreted as a masculine energy, which is different, I guess, to the interpretation of the moon as feminine energy in, you know, in mainstream Western culture. But this is a very beautiful card. Again, I might end up doing a deep dive on each of these cards because I would love to give the explanation in the background. But this is Pa, corresponds with the moon. Big Mama, of course, is the sun. Anybody who's had a Big Mama knows that Big Mama is the sun. You know, just inviting, charismatic, warm, you know, this feeling that everything's good. Big Mama's here. And let's see, and Son of Baskets. Honestly, I think the sun might actually correspond more with the Page's energy, because so far it's looking like the sun is a very young boy, and the daughters are a little bit younger, or older rather. So I think the sun cards in this particular deck, they correspond to the Page, and perhaps the daughters correspond to the Knight. But I'll have to read my book a little bit more, and I might come back on here with an addendum if that happens to be way off base. Of course, if anybody already has this deck and would like to give their interpretation of this deck, please let me know. Alrighty, I think I'm wrapping up this video. Free man is the Fool. I think I have to read a little bit more to understand the interpretation of the Fool as someone who clearly looks, I don't know if he's mixed race or if he's white, or I'm going to read the interpretation because I have to confess, I think in my excitement to get through the guidebook and to just start playing with the cards, I think I might have skimmed the Free Man, aka the Fool. So I'll come back to that. Black Herman, a prominent, I can't remember if he was a conjurer, magician, but he actually represents the magician. And you can see the correlation, you know, he's holding his wand and he's working his magic. Big Queen is the Empress. Let's see. Joseph C.H. Mason is the Hierophant. Courting, the Lover's card. Railroad Bill is the Chariot. And Strength is Strength. And this is just a beautiful rendering. Instead of a lion, we have a puma or mountain lion, and we have a beautiful lady. Perhaps she's a magician who can harness the power of, you know, the Strength card representing quiet power, representing, you know, I dare say grace under pressure, for lack of another way to say it right now. Being able to harness the power, or rather, being able to work with the energy of this very strong animal, but doing so not through brute force, but through stillness, calmness, just mastery, I think, of her emotions, and a sort of quiet strength. This is a beautiful card. I think this is one of my favorites. Dr. Grant is the Hermit card. Aunt Caroline represents the Wheel of Fortune. And, you know, I think, a couple more. These are way out of order, as you probably noticed already. Gullah Jack is the Hanged Man, and probably want to read up on the history of Gullah Jack. You see that there's the noose around his neck, but if you look at his expression, his countenance is calm, it's serene, which I think is very apropos to the Hanged Man. It's a sort of resolve, a quiet acceptance. It's not meekness. It's not, I don't know if not meekness is a word, because meek is actually, anyway, I'm rambling, but it's surrender and strength. It's knowing that it's knowing that whatever the outcome is going to be, you don't have to fear. It's having that strength. It's I'm kind of tripping all over my words here, but yeah, this is Gullah Jack, also known or corresponding rather with the Hanged Man, and we have the Garden, which corresponds to the World card. She is in her garden. She's tending to the fruits of her labor. You know, the garden is ready for harvest. It's fullness and bloom. Beautiful card here. And yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I mean, I could show these cards, play with these cards all day, all evening, and this is just a beautiful deck. I'm very, very excited to learn more about it, to continue to practice tarot with this deck, to grow more adept at interpreting these cards, using them for reading for myself and maybe even reading for others. But this is a beautiful deck. It's the Hoodoo Tarot. The accompanying book is by Tayannah Lee McQuillar, and the artwork is by Katelan V. Foisy. I hope I'm saying their names right. But yeah, absolute 10 out of 10. Would recommend this deck if you are into tarot, if you're an enthusiast, if you're a neophyte, or if you're into hoodoo and you have a frame of reference for the people, for the historical people represented in these cards. This is an absolutely beautiful deck, and I hope you enjoyed exploring this deck with me. Please feel free, as always, to leave your comments, suggestions. If you have any other interpretations or just any broader comments, I love to see them in the comment section. And until next time, thank you so much for spending your time with me, and until we see each other again.